But I do like PragerU, and apparently Dennis Prager reacted to SNEAKO, Andrew Tate, and Alpha Male TikTok.
Hi guys, welcome back to Unapologetic Live. On this show, we've been having so many conversations.
Yo, chat, her or Brett?
About what it means to be a man, what it means to be a woman in today's society. And these conversations, I feel, and approach them from a traditional standpoint. You know, women have their roles, men have their roles. We do.
Hell yeah, we do. All W so far.
Support each other in a way that just works functionally as a society. But the reason we're having a discussion about specifically masculinity today is because we have some controversial figures in the masculinity space right now. Two names you might have heard are Andrew
Chat, one for Brett, two for Amala.
Tate and SNEAKO.
Okay.
Andrew Tate being the more popular of the two.
Why you gotta do... What the fuck? What the fuck? Why would you say some shit like that, bro?
Wrong.
Who has now been banned off of platforms like Twitter, like Facebook, like Instagram, because apparently his message is very controversial. There's even a trend right now where girlfriends ask their boyfriends how they feel about Andrew Tate, and if their boyfriends express any sort of support for them, the girlfriend dumps them. So that's how much of an effect he is having on the lives of young people in our society right now. Today, I want to go through some of the hot takes from Andrew Tate and from SNEAKO and
Say my name, baby.
hear from a truly masculine man, Dennis Prager.
By the way,
Wait, so I'm not true. What the?
may I offer an early thought
Yes.
on just what you said? So here's a masculine moment.
Mm-hmm.
A guy dating a woman who says if he has any positive thought about Andrew Tate, and I don't know Andrew Tate at all, basically, but it doesn't matter. I've heard a little.
Yes.
And his reaction should be, "You'll leave me if I have any positive thing to say about Andrew Tate. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye."
Yeah.
That. The moment a man is held hostage by what his woman thinks, he has lost his masculinity.
Ooh, a hot take from Dennis Prager, right?
That's a fact.
Out of the
Right.
gate.
Well, that's right. But by the way, this doesn't mean, God forbid, that you're dismissive of your woman in your life. You know my wife. I mean,
You gotta stand on what you stand on.
Yep.
My regard for her is like a goddess. But she would be, first of all, she would never hold me hostage to such an idea. Though there is one, yes. If I smoked a cigarette, she thinks we would be heading to a divorce court. By the way, and here's the irony, I smoke a cigar with her all night.
All night, yes, I was going to say.
Yes, that's the joke. But I agree with her on cigarettes. They stink. All right, go ahead.
Okay, fair enough. Now, I want to...
Okay. I'm so used to hit pieces, I'm surprised I didn't get insulted yet.
preface this with a disclaimer. We're not going to talk about Andrew Tate's personal life outside of the comments that he's made on his show, and I just want Dennis to react to the comments. I know a lot of people are going to hop in and say, well, Andrew Tate has allegations of this sort of criminal activity. He's engaged in this. I just want to talk about the ideas that he promotes on his show and have Dennis react to those. So,
right. And just to reassure everyone, I was not rehearsed on any of this.
Not at all.
This is
We get it, okay? I'm a boomer, and I've never heard of these TikTok fellas.
pure spontaneity.
He's going in blind.
Okay.
Okay, Dennis, here is the number one statement.
Toxic masculinity is a term that was invented by women nobody wants to describe the men that the women do want to.
That's an interesting one. Toxic masculinity is sort of like white privilege. It's a made-up term. And white privilege is a term that applies to all whites. Right. You could be an Appalachian, impoverished...
Yo, Prager, you had me on this show. I would love to talk about this.
White child of two addicts.
Toxic masculinity is such a bullshit-ass term, and I had that debate with the soy boy with the crooked glasses that looks like every single other person who makes a hippies video about me. It said all the same shit. Masculinity is a social construct. Tell you should go to therapy. I know more about life than you, but also I'm on antidepressants. Don't fucking listen to anybody's life advice who's taking antidepressants, period. It's that simple. Why you wouldn't go to the gym and hire a trainer who's fat as fuck? Why? Because they failed. Why would you take advice from somebody who failed? If you're training, you shouldn't be fat. If you're talking about what you should do to live your life and how to conduct yourself as a man, I don't want to hear shit if you're saying I'm depressed. I don't want to hear shit about men suppress their emotions, but you take antidepressants and suppress your emotions. Bot, the fuck up. Toxic masculinity is a bullshit ass term that means nothing. That's meant to suppress men and keep them weak and controlled.
And you're considered to have white privilege.
Right.
Right. But if you're Oprah, you don't have privilege. Right. Okay. So same with toxic masculinity. Toxic is redundant. They think masculinity definitionally is toxic.
Yes, 100%. And I always, it begs the question. I never hear anybody say toxic femininity. I never hear anybody have any qualms.
Perfect. Exactly. Because there is a belief since the 70s, I'd say, or even 60s, that women are superior.
Yep.
Which, if anyone actually believes, let them look at which sex is screwing up children more in schools with prematurely sexualizing them, men or women.
Right.
It's 90% female.
100% it is. It seems like with a lot of the social issues that get ushered into our society, they're brought about by women.
That's
I'm not
exactly
gonna...
correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ladies, get it together, please.
Men kill people, women kill society.
I'm stealing that.
I've never heard that before. That is absolutely true if you really think about it. Wow.
Well, it was a spontaneous thought. That's why you never heard it before.
Dennis, I love it.
Spontaneous Dennis is quite impressive, I must say.
This is very,
wow,
very impressive.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Okay, of course.
I want to earn a return visit.
Anytime at this point, Dennis. Okay, let's move on. Now we're going to talk about men and women in relationships. Here's an Andrew Tate take.
Women are addicted to drama. So as a man, it's your job. It's your job to instill a little bit of drama in the relationship to keep it interesting. Because if you don't, she'll bring the drama. But if I bring the drama, I control it, right? So if I have to to keep you happy, I'm a good man. What part of that is a lie?
Oh, God, who said that?
Andrew Tate.
Okay. All right, look. It's a bizarre statement.
Yes.
No one should be creating drama in a relationship. I don't like drama.
It's not creating drama, really, but it's, and this is a controversial take, women need to be a little bit insecure. If they're not feeling insecure, if they're not competing for your attention, if they get complacent or comfortable, then he's right. They're going to go start drama. Why didn't you do the dishes? They need something to be upset about. So it's better to have it be over you fucking another bitch. If you're doing everything else properly in the relationship, she won't leave. Women do not leave men for cheating if everything else is fine. Because now, what, do you love her more? No, relax. It's not just insecure, it's keeping her emotional enough to stay entertained in the relationship.
Queens, and I don't like drama kings. In fact, in a nutshell, the whole history of the left is that they're drama kings and queens. There's always a hysteria. Did you notice that? Most people don't notice that. But they go from hysteria to hysteria. Mm-hmm. So we have the hysteria of gay rights, that men can't marry men and women can't marry women. So that was over. You think, okay, thank you. We have solved that problem. No, within a day. No, it's now LGBTQ plus IA and so on. No, now it's that there is no gender.
Right.
Not same sex. There is no sex is irrelevant. So
non-binary, I was thinking about it today, is pretty much one of the most narcissistic ideas. And that word's so overused, but if you think about it, the fact that I don't even fit into this, I'm so special, I'm not even gendered. Like what? Why? Tell me what that feeling is. What is the feeling of non-binary? Well, some days it's this and some days I'm that. So use this pronoun on this day and that on that day. You need to call me this today based on what I'm feeling. Change the language because of something that I made up in my... It's really just being a level of self-involved. And it's really just main character syndrome. You're not that. I'm bigger than my body parts. Shut the fuck up.
It doesn't end. Of course, climate change.
Right.
You will be boiled to death in 12 years. And every 12 years, the threat is renewed. Al Gore wrote the original 12-year threat in 1990.
Okay, so just to sort of play on this a little bit more, there's this commonly held idea within the Andrew Tate world and the people who watch his podcast, particularly young men, that if women are in a perfect relationship that's always happy and doesn't have any road bumps, they get bored and they create drama, either through cheating and infidelity or just, poking at their man, jabbing at them, just to create something that's different than the happiness that they've been feeling in their relationship. So he thinks that men need to instill a little bit of drama just to keep the woman
entertained.
Right, but how do you go about artificially creating drama? I mean, I wouldn't know what
Fucking another bitch.
to do. Look, I wrote a book on happiness, and I've written a tremendous amount and talked a lot about it. I think it's incredibly important. To me, the single greatest component of happiness is inner peace. Drama disturbs inner peace. I hate artificially induced drama. Life has enough drama.
Chad, WRL on monogamy. I've been thinking about this a lot and about indulging. It's No Nut November, and maybe that seeking and fucking other hoes is just satisfying your ego instead of doing what God wants you to do, which is to have a bunch of children and to have a family and be loyal to your wife. W or L W for monogamy. L, the hedonism is a big waste of time. You shouldn't have to try to have an open relationship. And also type L if you think that you're just indulging in your ego and you should just invest your time into your relationship. What you guys think?
Everybody knows someone who is seriously ill. Everyone knows somebody who is addicted to something. I mean, why would I want to add to life's drama? We're not living in dramatic times.
Right.
By the way, and again, the left creates it. This is the whole America is racist, is artificial drama.
Yeah.
This is all drama. These are drama queens. They are bored. That is correct. The source of leftism is boredom. And by the way, I have a theory on why there's boredom. Secularism plus affluence equals boredom.
Because you're just left in this cushy environment.
That's
with no
right.
values.
Right, exactly.
What is it? Hard times create strong men. Easy times create weak men. Some bullshit.
So I'm no fan of drama.
Yeah.
The happiest relationships are as drama free as possible.
I completely agree with you. My take on this is that drama is going to come to you in your
Yeah,
life
that's
external of your
Yes.
relationship.
See, so you're an example. This is coming out of nowhere, but it's a compliment. But it's not even a
Don't compliment her, she might.
compliment as much as an observation. But you could take it as a compliment, but it's meant as an observation.
Okay.
So
We low-key got the same tattoo, Amala. See that shit? Damn, is this the same exact image too? You see?
there are a handful of people that have innate wisdom. Most people need to learn wisdom, and we teach none. This is the crisis of our society. But you have it. It's a gift from God or nature. I can never know which. But that was an example of it. That you think in these terms. So it'd be very interesting. I would love to know if you date guys who are peace loving.
Oh, yes.
You do?
I do. My thing is, in your life, you're going to deal with so many problems external to your relationship.
You don't need more in the relationship. The relationship should be the safe place.
So find a man that helps you solve those problems and,
Yeah, that's great.
is
That's
there
great.
to
Yes.
deal with it.
But she doesn't operate like most women because she's very driven and she's a career woman.
Yeah, that's my philosophy. I don't want a man who creates problems for me.
Right. There's enough in life.
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
Yeah, whether you want them or
Yes,
not.
that's why my motto on my radio show, I came up with this many years ago, and somebody actually put it to a jingle. They loved it so much, and it is great. So here it is. If nothing's horrific, life is terrific. That's one of my mottos of life.
That would make...
I think I would get bored. I think you need some obstacle to overcome. You need some struggle, or else it just like I don't know. You're on a permanent vacation. You ever see that episode of Twilight Zone when the guy goes to hell thinking that it's heaven? And the reason that it's hell is because he goes to the casino every single day. He plays and wins everything. He talks to a girl and immediately she falls in love with him and he can sleep with her. If you don't have to work for anything, then it's boring. Isn't that the beauty of life? Is the struggle? Is the work?
Make for a fantastic jingle, actually.
Oh, it does. If nothing's horrific, life is terrific. And then there's a drum.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, you mentioned happiness, Dennis. You mentioned you wrote a book about happiness, which segues right into the next quote here.
How I feel has no impact on how I live my life.
Why do they put my name first in the title if they're only playing?
I don't think happiness as an index is a healthy view for a man to have on life success. If you're waking up and going, oh, am I happy? Am I not? You're looking at life wrong.
Those types of people are going to tell you to go to therapy and take pills and tell you how to live life and tell you that masculinity is a construct. Fuck that. If they are declaring every single day I'm waking up and popping a pill, they don't know shit. Clearly, they have declared in their minds, I'm unhappy. Why would you listen to anything they have to say?
It's a loaded one. There's a lot
No,
there.
no, it's not loaded. It's silly. It's just, and I'm not knocking him because I agreed with him on previous stuff you've played with me.
Yes.
I'm not knocking him at all. I just think it's a silly comment. The idea that miserable people are more productive is a myth. I am blessed to be happy, and no one would say I'm not productive. Okay? I don't want to recite my achievements. But I will just note, you don't write 9 major books, and they're all major. I mean, I'm writing a Bible commentary. That's pretty heavy stuff.
Right.
And I'm a happy guy, and I'm happiest when I produce. So this notion, it's a romantic myth that, Beethoven was miserable, which he was. That's true. But Bach wasn't miserable.
Right.
I know music well, so I'm using musical analogies.
Sure.
Anyway, you're not going to want to be married to Beethoven. You want to hear his music, but you don't want to be his wife. And he
Yeah.
never had a wife, by the way.
Right.
So I don't know what he's talking about. And by the way, there's a big theme of mine which has changed a lot of lives. I want people to think that they're morally obligated to be happy, because why I compare bad moods to bad breath. We brush our teeth, just either get happy or stop acting religious.
Right.
He just said in 30 words what Tate said in like 2.
You're giving us a bad name. It's
bad
You're
advertising.
giving God a bad advertising. Yes, look, what a product my Christianity is,
Right.
or my Judaism is. I'm miserable.
Okay, Dennis, so let's move on here. Now, this next statement is one that is often echoed by many men in this space. These
Many men.
are self-proclaimed alpha males, and they...
I've never said that shit. Why does everybody who responded what the fuck I'm talking about say self-proclaimed alpha male? Chat, when have I ever fucking once said that? Everybody making commentary about what the fuck I talk about. Oh, this wannabe alpha male. When am I out here saying that?
They often tout the
damn.
fact that they are with multiple women all of the time, and they don't have a singular person who they're constantly with. Here's the phrase.
I think the guys should be the ones showing what they bring to the table. The women should be demanding what they want in a relationship. Does that
Why?
make sense?
Well, what does a woman bring to the table?
Nothing! Nothing! They don't bring anything! Wake up! They bring nothing! Don't waste your time! Don't waste energy! They bring nothing! Get 5 of them! Get 5! Collect them like Pokemon!
That's male nature. So I, Dennis, representing every man on earth. I am 2 people. I am a male and I am a man, and they're in conflict. And I was raised to be a man. You start off, the animal in you is male. The male wants as many women as possible. That is the way men are, and it is bad for men and it is bad for women. But
So he's saying reject your animal nature.
that's our nature. We have to conquer it, and then we become men.
That's a great take.
When you can control the male in you, by the way, women have to control the female in themselves and become a woman.
Sure.
Just for the record, it's not the same thing. They don't have to control the desire for a staggering number of women and men in bed.
Right.
That's not women's nature. What women's nature is to be controlled by emotions rather than reason. Mm-hmm. So they have to control that, and we have to control our predilection to aggression, physical aggression, and our predilection to sexual predatory behavior.
Predatory?
I don't know if your generation even knows about Hugh Hefner, that he was the publisher of Playboy.
I can tell this is a religious guy. I think that's correct. That just because you want 5 women or you want 20 doesn't mean you need to engage in that. Then you got to suppress it and be a good member of society. WL on that take, chat. I think he's making good points, and I could tell he's coming from a place of worshiping God, but it's just, then what do you...
And he had, I don't know, 1,000 Playboy playmates in bed or whatever he claimed to have had.
Yes.
And I remember all of these people who would write about him, Hugh Hefner has a prodigious sexual appetite. And I thought, give me a break. Every man I know has a prodigious sexual appetite. Mm-hmm. It's just he acted on it, and a lot of us control it. But give me a break about this prodigious sexual appetite. If you're male and you own testicles, you have a prodigious sexual appetite.
So would you say that?
All right, moving on.
That's it.
Your job?